We are starting this off with fresh corn. Of course, we are in the peak of corn season. So I have 4 cobs here, and I'm just going to boil these for like about 10 minutes until they're just that beautiful, bright, vibrant yellow. In the meantime, we are going to make pistachio crumbles. This is going to be perfect for on top of our pizza. So I have just a 1/4 cup of pistachios, gonna blitz those in the blender and until they're like a fine dust. And that's really all we got to do. You could see the texture here, and that's it. I'm gonna set this to the side until we're ready for it later. I'm also gonna chop up some scallions right now. I just love scallions so much, and they work really well with this pizza here. So I'm just kind of like prepping everything that I can while that corn is boiling. This helps to make your cooking process go a lot faster if you have things already prepped. And then this is our like vegan hot honey. So it's just maple syrup and red pepper flakes. Gonna let them sit together so they get nice and spicy. And then I also have some fresh basil because we are hitting this pizza with all the summer feels. Once the corn is done boiling, let it set aside for a few minutes to cool off until you can touch it. And then you're going to take 2 of the cobs and you're going to cut off the kernels, and we're going to use that to make a corn sauce for our pizza. The other 2 pieces of corn you're going to use to make our little corn sections for topping the pizza. And that was a big reason I wanted to use fresh corn, because I just love those like corn sections that you get. They're so good. If you want to use frozen corn, you definitely can, especially if you're finding this video not in like peak corn season. Frozen corn will work really well here too, so whatever you want. And then after I'm done slicing up all the corn, I'm going to throw it in the blender. And this corn sauce on the bottom was so good. It was almost like corn chowder on there. Like it was just super sweet and creamy. Add a little bit of salt and some non-dairy milk, unsweetened, unflavored, and we're just going to blend this up until it is nice and creamy and smooth. And I was nervous about doing this for some reason. Like I don't know why, it just kind of like seemed sketchy to me for whatever reason, but I loved it. It was so good. I also want to like put this over pasta. It would be delicious. And of course, you can always taste this. If your corn wasn't that sweet for some reason and you want to throw in like a dash of maple syrup or something, you can totally do that as well. But this is the consistency that we're going for. So now we're going to spread out our pizza dough. So I'm putting some olive oil on a big, nice pan. I used store-bought pizza dough this time. I just did not feel like making my own dough that day. But if you want to make your own dough, I have a recipe for you. Super easy to make your own dough. I just didn't really feel like waiting for it to proof and stuff. So I just spread this out. This is the Trader Joe's pizza dough, which I do like, but it tends to shrink back up on itself, so it takes a few minutes to stretch. So then we're going to pop this in the oven 425 for 5 minutes just to get a nice pre-bake on it. And then we're going to add that corn sauce on top, and we're just going to spread this around just like you would as if it were tomato sauce. And this pizza, guys, it is so good. My boyfriend had me make it for him twice already. He loved it that much. My mom loved it, and they're both not vegan, so it's a really good pizza. If you like corn, just trust me, like you need to try this. Then we're using 2 kinds of cheeses, a vegan Mexican style shreds and vegan mozzarella shreds, and we're going to make some nice layers. So we're going to do a little bit of cheese, and then we're going to add those pieces of corn, and then we'll do more cheese and then the pieces of corn. And this just gave like such a nice effect to the pizza. Now, of course, you can use any kinds of vegan cheese that you like. If you only want to use one kind, if you'd rather use cheddar, do whatever works best for you. And like I said, I just like these little corn sections on here because they're just like so fun to eat and nibble on. Love it. So went through the whole process of really layering this up and trying it to make it look like as nicely as possible. And then this is going in the oven for 15 to 20 minutes until it's like golden and brown and bubbly. And can we just take a second to look at this? Like this is gorgeous to me. This vegan cheese melted so well. It's the one from Trader Joe's, and oh my goodness, it just looks delicious. Now this pizza, you can actually just eat this on its own if you want. Of course, we're gonna add all the toppings we prepared. So we got the scallions, we got the pistachio crumbs. You won't use all of them. You could save them, make pistachio crusted tofu or something, or sprinkle it on their dishes. We're gonna drizzle that vegan hot honey on top. And then we're gonna add our beautiful fresh basil, and I don't know, I just absolutely love this pizza. Like I said, nothing screams summer more to me than this. You could also throw a little salt on there, and then I just cut it up into a bunch of little pieces. I think this would be so fun for a party. Like imagine if you were at a party and someone came out with this pizza. What would you do? I would be so excited to eat this. And it's just amazing. So as always, the full rundown recipe is on the blog. You can find the link in the description box down for that. I read out all the ingredients in the description box as well. We have one more recipe next week in our summer season, and then we will be taking a little break before we go into the fall recipes. So yeah, if you haven't seen the other recipes in the fall season, go check them out. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next week. Bye.